Establishment is establishment, and when they are hypocrites, we call them out, whether they're right-wing or left-wing. This is not a partisan matter. And on this channel, I don't really care if a Tory does something weird, or if a Labourite does something weird, or the Liberal Democrat. I'll call them out. Now, we know that this government has been slightly, well, facing challenges, let's just say, over the last year or so. A lot of misleading information, at times lying, Matt Hancock. Now, we've discovered, thanks to Christopher Hope of The Telegraph, that ministers and their departments, so civil servants at 3 different government departments, are secretly taking part in a get-out-of-jail-free card kind of scheme that is a trial to allow them to avoid self-isolation. So this is a pilot scheme that enables people to, or the civil servants, basically people who work for these departments, to skip and ignore the NHS app. When the NHS test and trace contacts people to say you have to self-isolate, then they have this new pilot scheme, and they did the same thing before with the lateral flow tests. You know, after 10 minutes you get some sort of result, and they said, oh, we're just going to do this. A year ago, I remember back in April and May, beginning of the lockdown, first lockdown, they came out and said, we're going to do a new scheme, a new pilot scheme with antibody tests. And these antibody tests, which they call them immunity tests, if it works, then people could just take them and just get back to normal. Well, that was a lie. That didn't happen because they realized that's not going to work out quite well for them. So now they're doing it for their own, their own staff and their own departments. And some of you might say, well, they are public servants and civil servants. They need to get back to work to do their jobs. Well, these are the same civil servants that could actually work from home on their laptops. So self-isolate. If the NHS app is telling me to self-isolate, and I have to, then you have to do the same thing, dear civil servant. So it's just not a good look. If you're going to do some sort of trial or pilot scheme, do it in an actual voluntary way. Get the general public involved from various sectors and various backgrounds and various parts of the UK. Don't just create it internally. It's just a bad look. But it's not just the Tories. I'm going to be objective. Look at this one. So in the middle of all this, we're going through economic crisis. We're going through a lot of hardship for ordinary people out there who these people don't care about. Angela Rayner of the Labour Party we just found out that she's again claimed for expenses for a letter folding machine. What the hell? Letter folding machine. £1,440 for a letter folding machine for her office in Parliament. What? Okay, so I know that, again, some of these new technologies will help make things efficient. Well, not for her, it will be her staff is doing it. But firstly, stop it. Like, we do have to, there was this campaign that started a while ago that advocated people to MPs to encourage more constituents to use emails. And of course, a lot of people who can't use emails, they have to send letters, then have to just prioritize them. If you prioritize that, you have an efficient system, you don't need a letter folding machine. But even if so, you might say that might be actually useful, just in case. Still better than this. Only a few months ago, we exposed Angela Rayner for using a lot of taxpayers' money on getting AirPods, iPads, random, keyboards, and all these luxury type kind of products that she doesn't actually need. She could just get a cheaper version. If you're going to use taxpayers' money, get a cheaper version of the products that you need. And a lot of them are being used for, obviously, personal use. And that's the problem I have. That's why I'm going to call them out. Right, before we finish, today's show, we talked about a lot of topics that the mainstream media aren't really talking about, from the establishment's hypocrisy on these rules, again, the extension of these restrictions, but mainly the last one, which can't even put the short clip on this, it's got something to do with football and your knee. I can't really use the word, but you know what I'm talking about. So if you want to watch that discussion and exactly what's happening, then go on mytousi.co.uk and you can get access to the full and uncensored version of this, and also get access to a lot of other things, including our regularly up-to-date articles and the membership benefits.